Hello, and welcome to this first play session of Imperial Maledictum, Plausible Deniability. This is a 2-month series trying out this new game from Cubicle 7, which uses the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay system to do kind of what they used to have with Rogue Trader, but they've kind of focused it in a little bit more on agents and patrons and a little more limited kind of play. This is my first time playing this system. We're trying it out. It's got a lot of stuff to it. We did our entire session last time building characters, which is quite a change from some things. We are going to go over briefly before we get started, before we introduce the characters again. We are using safety tools. So if that makes you sad, you can stop the video now. So right now we have lines on animal abuse and torture by the PCs. We have veils on harm to animals, sexual assault, and sexual content, meaning fade to black on those things. We have asked first for ideas of dental horror, harm to children, mind control. That just means that we need to check in before any of those things would apply. We've also got a romance matrix there off to the right-hand side of the character keeper. So we also are using the X card and open door policy for managing play. So just remember that that is there. We are going to have everyone introduce their characters, and then we're going to talk about our patron again. So on the character keeper, what I usually do, some of you know this, played with me before, I usually go by character keeper order, and I shift it one seat over each time for who gets to be in the hot seat for the start of things each time. So this time it's Sabian Lily. Keith, tell us about your character. Anything that you picked between now and last time. What you thought about in terms of your psychic powers as well.
Join me as I remember about my character, Sabian Lily. She is a void-born, bit of a station rat growing up, running small, odd jobs for quasi-organized crime, and crossed paths with our patron, and I almost did the first Patreon, just narrowly avoided that, who realized her true potential and attached her to his outfit. She is a psyker, as alluded to before. And which one did I pick? It says it somewhere. Divination? That sounds like a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And most of her powers manifest as probability, just kind of warps itself around her to make things better for her and worse for you. But also it gets a little freakier now that she's starting to learn how to manage it. And there's things like asking questions of the warp and a little psychometry, reading what's going on in a situation. But she's a good kid. She means well. And she will apologize for any difficulties her psychic abilities cause for you.
Excellent. I am looking forward for that going totally awry
Absolutely.
at some point. And we talked about the fact that you're kind of an unlicensed psyker, or at least not in the Astra psychic, and your patron is the person who kind of has taken care of you and gotten you away from that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't need a license. I have a patron. It's fine. It's
Absolutely.
fine. As
Yeah,
long as I'm in his good graces, everything's fine.
exactly. Uh, Next, Jay, tell us about your character.
I am playing Dulford Madfist Bilkido. Uh, he makes miracles happen with firearms. So you put a firearm in his hand and watch me do some miraculous, crazy things. I think he's from a feral world, and so I think he ended up on this path because of his talents with firearms. I've spent my 300 of my 500 points on
Oh,
talents.
okay.
Uh, um, I lost my train of thought there.
You're gonna buy some.
For
You're buying some more of them.
Yeah, so I had just picked up acute senses, gunslinger, and there's another ranged weapon talent.
Okay.
I was scrolling up. So yeah, this is his whole shtick is being a scout, using ranged weapons. Um, I think he's drinking all the Kool-Aid
Okay.
for being in this faction with the Patreon. But I think
Take a drink.
that
Ding.
but I think it's the highest bidder, right? I think that's where he's at, right? And
Mhm.
right now, this is the great life. He can't imagine anything better than this. But that doesn't mean that's truth, right? There could be something better. He just hasn't seen it.
Absolutely. I dig that. And we talked about the fact that you and Greco had right, Rich, am I saying it Greco or Greco?
I think Greco sounds more
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Yes.
You and Greco had served together with some issues.
Yeah,
And
kind of. Yeah, we did. I kind of left him. Yeah, no, with some issues. Let's just leave it at
with
that.
some
With some
issues, yes. Okay.
But that's in the past. That's water under the
Yeah.
bridge 100 years ago.
Yeah.
We're good. Right, Greco?
Silence. Next, that brings us to Jetro.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Jethro. Jethro, tell 'em all. He's he's something of a face type character. He's a ganger, grew up on a Hive World, so he's been amongst the scum all his life. His kind of thing, he might not make miracles happen with a gun, but he might make them happen with his tongue. Probably not, actually. He's kind of an asshole, a distracting imbecile at times, but he's always got a good joke. I predominantly have most of my experience put into talents because it turns out as an interlocutor, you get a ton of them. So I have things like distracting, lick spittle, gallows humor, all about a lot of social talents, as well as deal maker. I also added acute sense, replacing Scrounger. Scrounger was a talent we found in the rules, but not actually in the rules in the character build that didn't exist anywhere. I did more searching, could not find them. So I replaced it with acute sense smell, so I can smell things pretty well.
Okay.
And then I also have dirty fighting as well. Yeah, nothing needing to know. Jethro, he's got a little bit of a relationship with all these cats. Savion reminds me of a kid I knew back in the Hive. That kid was also unlicensed and it was also safe. And then their head blew up and it was a nightmare. Mad Fist, he's seen me scared. What are you gonna do? That's just part of the job. Sometimes you get in a corner, you get scared. Luckily, there is somebody who can make miracles happen with a firearm. And Greco, tell you what, man, his back is just too straight. He hasn't adjusted to his life out of the service just yet, I think. And I'm not sure if when push comes to shove, he'll have my back. Like I'll need him to have my back, but maybe time will tell.
Excellent. And that brings us, last but not least, to Greco.
Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing. We just said Greco is what we agreed
Greco,
on.
God, I'm going to do it wrong every time.
It's okay. I know sometimes there are certain words, and it's fine.
Like the names of the capital planet from Star Wars. Do you want me to say it?
Go ahead.
Coruscant?
So much closer than normal. I'm
Okay.
into it. I can judge. Okay, we'll accept that answer. I am playing a Greco Agrippian who hails from a feudal world that I should name, but I'm nervous to because I know jack and squat about Warhammer 40K. So I shan't. And he joined the military, became part of the Astra Militarium, became a trooper, was a pretty good trooper, and then he did not get the opportunity to finish his tour because Mad Fist was accused of a crime he didn't commit, and Greco stood up for him, and they were both let go. They were just let go.
Sent down.
Sent down. Not to their deaths, which is
Right.
weird. I would expect to their deaths. Anyway, while Mad Fist says that he makes miracles happen with guns, he's right. But he's not the only one who is quite good at weapon skill. In fact, as I look at the WS, which is what stands for weapon skill, I see that
You're a
I'm
pro already,
almost-
Rich. What are you
I'm,
talking
I'm
about?
almost 50% good at something, which I'll just think like baseball. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Greco is, yeah, he's pretty straight shooter. He acts as if he's still in the military and enjoys that. And I had to add rows to the character keeper for all the guns that he starts with. And I also bought another talent, Guardian. You'll all thank me, but probably it's just going to be Sabian who gets guarded. You other two nugs can take care of yourselves, I'm sure.
And just for reference, I did put on the patron record page a copy of those advancement costs, the XP costs there, just to kind of consolidate some things. So I'm going to hide the character steps tab just to remove some of the tabs
Oh,
from.
not right now, not right now. Give me. Oh, wait, no, that's right. That's right. I can look at talents without that. That's cool. I'm good.
Yeah, you're all good. But the costs there are on the patron record. So let me mention a couple of things. I don't know whether we're going to get into a conflict situation today or not. Okay, who knows what'll happen. But I mentioned last time, one of the things in this game is the concept of superiority. Superiority is, you've done your work, you've set things up, you've set up an ambush, you've done research, anything like that. And basically in a conflict situation, you can have up to 3 levels of superiority. And there are ways to gain more and lose it, but it's max 3, max minus 3. What that does is on your turn, each of you can use the superiority to add that many success levels to a roll, to a result. So if you have superiority 3, you can move the clock by 3 ticks, by 3 success levels. Now, there are also abilities that you'll see, talents that you've seen that add +1 SL, 2 + 2 SL, depending on things. Those are also success levels. The important thing to know is that we count success levels. We even count negative ones. So if you miss a roll, we look at, and you miss it, by 1 success level. If you get a bonus that gives you +2 success levels, that'll move it back into the positive. So there are ways to do that, to change up the numbers and particularly with superiority, if you've got some preparation for that. When we get to those mechanics, we'll stop and take a look at that until we get used to that. But I did want to mention that again. So your boss is Fortori von Grunt, and he is an infractionist and a guild master, which means he's not as well placed as, say, a rogue trader, but he does travel around. He has access to things. He is a merchant, not a privateer, not an explorer, not a massive dynasty, but someone who manipulates things, who gets things done. It also means that he's able to get you passage. He's able to get you items at a discount. And, if you need trade records, he can track those things down for you. The other 2 boons that we have on the table are Forger, which means he can get you counterfeit documentation, and Plausible Deniability, which essentially allows you to ask for someone to go and break somebody's legs. That kind of thing. On the other hand, he does owe a debt to someone, and he does have an enemy. These are ones that you chose, so they are known. He has an enemy in the Adeptus Astra Telepathica. And he has a dangerous debt to one of the rogue trader dynasties, which I have some details on that, but that's basically what you need to know. You all finished a mission just recently. You finished a job for your patron. Sabian, what is it that he had you doing? Was it a heist? Was it an escort mission? Was it, a milk run? Was it something else? What was it?
I feel out of my depth on that question.
Okay.
If someone else has a larger background knowledge that
Jay, this is a guy is kind of a semi-crime lord, a merchant in a sci-fi setting. What kind of job might you have been undertaking?
Clearing out territory and maybe Hive City, right?
Okay.
He's expanding. I think we just had to, go clear it out.
Yeah, he was making his influence felt in a place where he had some trade influence, and he needed
Hmm.
to change the balance of things.
Right.
Jetro, what went wrong?
The thing about jobs like this is it's not so much that things go wrong. You have a built-in margin of error, right? You have a comfort level of what you're willing to accept. And yes, we're clearing out the kind of turf to make room for expansion. Maybe, unfortunately, some gas lines, got nicked, and the levels that we were moving into. Well, now it's 2 stories instead of one. That's pretty nice, actually, right? I think you'd see it that way, perhaps.
Yeah, so things went from about 0 to 60 really quickly. There was some volatility in the marketplace, and the marketplace caught fire. And
What are you gonna do?
so technically, you achieved what you intended to achieve. Uh, Greco, the mission went wrong, but you managed to like salvage something out of it. Was it like you saved somebody? Was it you found something? Did you get some cash? What is it that actually ended up good on your side?
We ended up with a dog.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about this dog. Big dog, little dog?
Little dog.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got a little dog. You brought it on board. They don't have any kind of quarantine regs on these ships. There's nothing. You
They're
can bring
dogs.
anything.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Absolutely. Fruits, vegetables, dogs, cats, anything you can transport, they don't check. So yeah, you've got this hive dog. And Rich, what is the hive dog's name?
Oh man. I think the hive dog's name is Core.
Okay. Hive dog. Cool. All right.
I'm not sure if it's short for Coruscant or Coruscant or what, but it's just called Core.
It's one of those.
Mhm.
Sabian, while you were on this mission, do you think this is something you've done before, kind of helping out in a little more violent way, or is this relatively new to you? Like, well, how do you imagine that?
it's on the newer side.
Okay. Uh, like, which of your powers did you end up like using the most on the job?
I mean, the most frequent is luck, right? But that's just
Okay.
always the most frequent. I want to work in. I want to say because I have dowsing, so I can find types of stuff. So let's say we were looking for the other faction's leader, and he's known to have some sort of exotic like white ape pet or something. And I was like, I'm gonna find this thing, I'm gonna find him. And that's how we ended up with Core, because it didn't quite go right.
All right.
And we found a dog.
Okay.
But he's a good boy.
He is a good boy. So yeah, this was on another planet. You had to scoot out of there relatively quickly. You would have caught a transport, met up, ship to ship, void locked, transiting between a couple of ships before you eventually are on a fairly upscale merchant vessel, where you're supposed to meet with your patron, but the ship has been going now for a couple of days, and it's much nicer quarters than you've ever had, like on most of the time. What makes it nice? What's the luxury, Sabian, that you have not had before? You're muted.
Hot showers.
Okay, yeah. Hot showers, actual water, temperature controlled. You know that they don't do actual. You know, they do chemical baths and sprays and sonics on most vessels you've been on. Uh, and you're given your own cabin. Madfist, what has been your reaction to being in such luxe accommodations just after you've, I don't want to say fucked up, but you kind of maybe did not finish the previous mission entirely to spec?
Man, I think you framed that all wrong. I did my part. I
Okay.
did what I was supposed to do, right? So if it went, if it came in short, it wasn't mad fist. I did everything I was supposed to do. 100%. The showers, right? I think what I'm fascinated about is if I don't have to be outside of my room, I'm in the hot shower. I have food delivered to the room, and I just right from the hot shower. And because I don't know when this is going to happen again, this is fantastic, right? This is a new thing for me, and so until somebody says I have to get out, I think I spend a lot of time in the hot shower.
Absolutely. And they do this ship that you're on actually does have service where they send people down to bring you food. Jethro, what's been your expectation, your feeling throughout this?
Well, I think it doesn't. It's not often that things go a little pear-shaped and then you get treated so well. And I think that has Jethro on his back leg a little bit. He's waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's had enough kind of run-ins in the past where it's like, oh yeah, you did a great job. Yeah, come out back. And then he hears a las gun go off and he says, oh, okay, I'm not working with him anymore. um, so he's waiting for that kind of shoe to drop. I think when the showers are presented and food starts coming, he eases up a little bit because no one's spending solars on this if they're going to just take us out back and recycle us. So we're probably okay. But he's keeping his ears peeled. He's like asking the people who are coming by with food and help. He's like, so you hear anything about what's going on? I mean, it's pretty plush digs. You get to spend time in here. Come here, hang out. Let's go.
And Greco, what about for you? Like on this nice trip, so you've been on here for several days. They once you revealed that you had an animal, they prepared food for core.
It's good. I do point out that we were less than fully successful in case it wasn't clear. And then nothing is taken away, so that's good. Stay sharp. Keep working out. Obviously, you only get something like this right before a suicide mission. So, enjoy
And
it, but keep prepped.
at the end of that third day that you're on the ship, one of the stewards comes down to each of your rooms and says, Master Von Grunt would ask that you would join him in his quarters in 60 minutes. And then they just move on. They don't ask for an affirmation. They just clearly tell you that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Matt Fist, I think you can get another 50 in that shower if you want.
I'm gonna try to get 55, but yeah.
You're looking very moisturized. I've never seen you like this. This is wonderful.
And we'll cut to an hour later. Your quarters were nice, but you kind of didn't understand what nice was until you came to Von Grunt's, with the sunken couches and view screens and, a bar and two showers and he is there relaxing, and when you come in, he will say, come in, just come on in. Sabian, how did things go? I mean, I read the mission report, but how did it go for you?
Uh, well, good. Think I Are you mad?
No, no. I, I'm distracted from what might have passed for a certain amount of upset, anger about what occurred. Some other things have happened that have made that seem relatively unimportant, let us say. So I'm disappointed that things went as they did. And obviously, you may wonder why I gave you those rooms of such high quality. Actually, I had another team that was going to be using them, but they got killed. They're all dead. So I had already paid for the berths. I thought, let's not waste
What,
that money.
what were they doing?
That's unimportant right now. Let's not worry about that. These are minor logistical details that we don't need to concern ourselves with.
Kind of looking around at the other folks and seeing if they find that disturbing or if they're just calm.
I'm distracted by the two showers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm having trouble looking at
Right. I'm
Von
trying to
Grunt. It's like,
decide, right?
what is this place?
Right?
Come
Why
and
do
sit
you
down. Come and sit down, everybody.
two showers?
I've ordered some beverages, and I'd like to have a conversation with you about the next task that we are all of us headed towards. And he waits. Alcohol is brought out, a variety of drinks, some other light food and beverages are placed in front of you, and he waits until everybody has taken something. Um, and he'll say, "So, Greco, I heard you found a dog?"
Indeed. Fortune smiled upon us, and we found a team pet will help for bonding and also could teach each of us some responsibility.
Interesting, interesting. That perspective on things is not one I particularly had. So, as you know, my task, my job is moving and dealing with opportunities, trying to take advantage of things. You, me, many others are those that are at the margins. We are left with what the Imperium will give us, that space that we have to carve out from that. And some go fully into the dark, the criminal organizations, the Quattro and conglomerate, and the variety of gangs that are out there that move across systems. But I am a merchant, and you work for me, so therefore by extension you are also merchants in your own way. We eat the crumbs of what is left after the righteous of the Imperium have taken their fair share, after the administrators have provided for their own, after the nobles have gorged on the scraps, and the so-called rogue traders have boiled down nearly everything. What's left on the table is ours. And so we must always, where we can, take advantage and move to get what is ours before others take it. You understand me?
Absolutely, for sure.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. So here is the situation. We are headed to another Hive city in a different system. I think we're going to have you not go back to that previous Hive city for a while until the literal and figurative heat die down. You are going to a place called Tempadian Tertius. It'll be in your data pad, so you'll have the spelling if you need it. Let me give you some background here. I, as part of my tasks, have people that go through records, transmissions, data that gets sent. The Imperium is built on record keeping. It is built on the transmission of data. There's an entire planet that is just dedicated to copying over those records and distributing them out. That bureaucracy, that administratum is important. And pieces fall into my hands and they pass through and I send them on, but I analyze them to see what I can find out, what opportunities I can engage with. So there is a ship that was known as the Glimmering Font, moderate sized exploration vessel. It was operating in the Sargasso Expanse. Just after the eternal night fell, the Sargasso Expanse, even after that, was still a dangerous place with a lot of warp fluctuations and so on. It's also, these days, one of the places where some folks are looking to expand, but that's neither here nor there. The Glimmering Font, as they traveled through there, got a set of signals that they didn't understand, that they had the encodings for, but they didn't know what was going on. They could tell that it was a ship. There was an older ship. They were able to kind of mark it, but their vessel wasn't steady or strong enough to actually follow up on those things. So they didn't have the knowledge of what it was they had found. Eventually, when the Glimmering Font returned, there was an incident, and the ship got impounded, and then it got demolished. The crew got scattered. Here is the deal. Based on what I've seen of the code exchange, based on the information that I have, old transmissions, I believe that they found a lost Imperial vessel called the Regal Bounty. It supposedly was part of the Macarium treasure fleet and went missing. So I have tracked down 3 of the crew persons from the Glimmering Font. I believe one or more of them should be able to provide us with the navigational information that we require to be able to mount an expedition to recover the Regal Bounty. The problem is that when their ship was impounded, they lost credits. They were marked as pirates. And so they have been down on their luck in the streets of this hive. I need you to go and find them and bring them back to us alive so that we can get that information from them. Now, you can play that gently, and he'll look at you, Jetro, calmly to bring them back. Or if you want to play bad cop, then later on I can play good cop. I just need them intact and alive when they are brought back. Those are my terms.
And you do need all three of them. Sorry, boss, not to interrupt your immaculate plan. And truly, we will have a sumptuous regal bounty when we enact your glorious plan. I just want to confirm that I understand, and I can see Greco's kind of looking. He's looking a little, I want to make sure we all have the numbers straight. Is all.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing. It would be best to have all three of them, because it would be very disappointing to me if you were to bring back two of them and the third one turned out to be the one who actually knew the thing. So you get my thinking on that. That would make me upset. So I will be working in the upper hive on some matters. I will be sending you down into the bowels of this place. I have managed to determine that they are in a place called Sector Atabraxis. Track them down, and he'll pull up a data pad, and if you look at the NPC tab, on that second row, he will say the three crew persons are Sethus DeHold, Tachiz Shoah, and Og Halanak. These are old photos, so they may not look like this these days. But check through your contacts, explore the hives of scum and villainy, check with people, bust a few heads, whatever it is you need to do, and find them. I will arrange for a safe house for you in the sector so that should you need to grab someone up and put them somewhere safely for a time, you can do that. Any questions?
How long ago was it that the glimmering font came back to port and these fellows were branded as pirates?
They have been in the hive for 2.5 years.
I'm sure you already said that. Greco, you need to listen.
It's a great deal of information. Doing my best.
Was there any other questions? Anything that you need to assist you on this? I'll give you a little bit of walking around money to make your job easier, but not too much, because I would like to rely on you as skilled agents to be able to handle this matter.
And of
Sabian,
course, we.
oh,
I know. You should speak with Sabian. I hesitate to interrupt. Go
no,
ahead.
no,
I'm sorry, Master
I
Von Grant.
particularly am glad, given that you grew up in a hive world, Jetro, to bring your experience to bear on this, which an environment that perhaps Madfist and Greco had not experienced. I was going to say to Sabian, you were raised on ships. I hope that this will be okay with you.
Whatever you need, boss. It's fine. I've been in hives before.
I just always, these are your first missions out there. I just want to make sure that everything goes well and smoothly for you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well then, we will be arriving the day after tomorrow. So you have another full day of, and he'll look at you, Madfist, shower time here to indulge. But when we get there, I want you deployed on the ground right away. Oh, I should probably mention this. There is some possibility that one of my rivals, one of the people who I have some issues with amongst one of the rogue trader dynasties, may also be in possession of this information and may also be following the same path as we are. If you happen to run into agents that seem to be also pursuing this, feel free to murder them as you wish.
And their boss, if we run across their boss,
If there is a leader, a captain who has foolishly put themselves in harm's way where you are present, please execute with all discretion.
excellent.
Well then, if you want to take anything with you and head back to your rooms, I think this conversation is done.
That's very magnanimous of you, bossy. I'll go ahead and take this tray, and I'll take this decanter, and I might as well take this with me as well. Jethro loads up some food and snacks and drinks. You guys want anything? I can get some more.
Did he leave anything?
Jethro really is inspired by the patron's speech about getting the crumbs, and so he's getting everything, and he's pushing those crumbs together. Yeah, listen, if you combine a square of this toast with this half, that's almost one whole piece right there. Look at me, I'm an administrator all of a sudden. All right.
And he will dismiss all of you to head back to your rooms and get yourself ready and set. And I think we do cut to a while later, and we're coming in, and I used this before when I was describing this earlier on today. We haven't seen a 40K television show, but I imagine that when we see the planet in the background, it's not as pretty as Star Wars or as Star Trek. Like, it's grimy, it's yellowish gray. It's a smog world. I mean, we see debris in orbit. There are old hauler military vessels that came here to die, and they've got people, up there scrap cutting them down. They're going to be at this. They've probably lived up there their whole lives, just cutting these ships to pieces, and that's what they do. And you will descend towards this hive city. Jetro, what does the hive city look like? Is it a big dome? Is it towers? Is it in all kinds of pieces? What is our look here for the city, this Tempadian?
Yeah, I think originally this hive city started out as 4 massive towers that were actually manufactorums, right? Way back when, this was originally a planet for building fuel cells or artillery shells or what have you. And as the resources in this plot got used up, slowly the workers built upon it and lived there. And then they moved to the other factory. Then they took the tram to the other factory, and it just kept building on top of itself. So now you have these 4 huge spires that poke out of really the center of this massive, I would almost think of it like a dome, like a beehive, like half of a beehive sunken into the ground.
Okay. And you will, the ship will dock on one of the upper reaches of this place. It's very nice, very high end. This is clearly where all the administrators and the highly placed people live up in this part of it. And sort of as soon as you step out, there's someone who is ushering you along away from here. And will usher you over to a grav flyer, get you bundled in there as quickly as possible so that no one sees you, and takes off, and the vessel just kind of lifts up and then drops down, and you are falling past the Hive City before they finally kick in the retro thrusters, and you will turn and you will go into one of these big open gaping maws on the side of the Hive City, and as soon as you get in, it is dark and dirty and oily, and Greco, what is the, when you get out of the flyer, what's the predominant smell?
Methane. Heavy smells of methane.
Yeah, the thing where you can see that they've got apparently some issue with venting. So there are those places where you see the little burn off happening, will go off and then shut down, and it just kind of sticks around. A lot of people with rebreathers and things here, and you're let off in one of these blocks. The sector is irregular. It's kind of defined. It goes up, like 30, 40 levels of span. There are different blocks. There's some places where it's got a drop down atrium where they can throw the bodies down. There are workshops down below. It is kind of a heavy industrial mess here. And you have the sense that this particular sector, Abraxas, may be the bad part of town.
See, this is
So,
too bad, Jethro's fitting his ugly filter plugs in, so he's just got these giant, like, whatever that looks like, his filter plugs. Mad Fist, the thing about this is, up there, that was middle management. Can you imagine? We could one day aspire to such heights to live in a place like that. That would be, whew, wouldn't be like these poor suckers. He like kicks a guy who's throwing up in an alley. This guy's done. He's done. He's done. This methane poisoning, I've seen this so many times. You guys don't understand. I've lived in so many hives in my day. I know everything about this. That guy's going to die. That guy's going to die. That guy's going to die when he tries to shoot you. It's going to be a nightmare down here. Keep your eyes on a swivel, boys.
They're going to die whether or not you say anything. So just keep it down.
Well,
We all die, Jethro.
That's very true, Greco. What you've done is an astonishing thing. You and Sabian should really just keep talking so philosophical like.
Well, that was creepier than I was saying.
It was creepier, and it's odd because when he says it doesn't tingle the back of my mind like you.
I don't want to die here.
Oh, we're not going to die here, Matt Fist. No. Don't get me wrong. We're not dying anywhere here.
So let's imagine that you kind of take a look around, and I'm gonna go around and ask you, like, what do you think is your first steps in a place like this to get your lay of the land? You have been given a key card and a location where there's a safe house for you to crash. To, for example, put the dog while you're out in the field, that kind of thing. So Greco, what about for you? The last mission took place in the Hive World. Was that the first Hive World you'd been on? The first like dense, arcology kind of thing, or had you fought in those before?
Oh, Fist and I, we had a couple of missions in 2 different Hive Worlds. That was the first time that we socialized. Went to a bar. It was terrible.
Was
So what do you,
terrible.
so what do you want to do, Greco?
We should go to a bar. That's where most people can be found. Let's go to a bar.
Okay. So you we'll head down. Is Core on a leash? Are you carrying him? Is he in a bag? Like
Oh,
what's
he's in a pack. Like he can look out over my head, over my shoulder and
okay?
stuff if he wants. I feed him like little morsels of food and stuff.
So you will walk around for a bit and eventually like pick up that the place that has the biggest sort of like biggest space, the most people, crosswalk of life, is a bar called Knife Point.
My favorite kind of place.
And so you will go down a couple of levels. Uh, Sabian, what's the what's the way that people go down between levels? Are there big freight elevators? Are there escalators? Is it massive stairways? Uh, like what do we see?
So I don't know if this is out of character with the place, but I'm kind of picturing like those pneumatic tubes that they used to send messages on, and like but really out of maintenance and ad hoc together, and a little bit of element of you're taking your health and safety into your hands.
You get inside, the floor has clearly been patched repeatedly. As soon as you get in, there's that moment when they build the pressure up and your ears pop. And normally with these tubes, you ought to have that sort of smooth whoosh, but there's more of a as you bounce around inside the tube before you get down to that level. And it doesn't quite match up, so you have to like pull the door open and step up to get out of the tube. And people are milling around, and Knife Point is a huge place. Massive. Mad Fist, what's the entertainment in Knife Point?
Oh man, you should
Is
have
it
done
is it
that.
is it is it a band? Is it a lounge singer? Is it cage matches? What is it?
No, I think there's some electronic computerized AI synth music playing, right? And I think there are cages scattered around, suspended above the main floor, and people are in them dancing.
Yeah, absolutely. Sad techno go-go dancers
Yeah.
to AI generated
Yes.
non like copyright royalty free bits that have been synth matched together.
I
Uh,
think yeah I think it's random, right? Because they don't want copyright infringement, right? So I think it's terrible, right? It's just all random. Maybe it's got an auto tuner in there, right? So it's not out of tune, but it's all
oh,
random.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's terrible.
it does, however, mean that because the volume of it, that when people are hunched over talking spiritorially, that no one can overhear them.
That's right. I like it.
So we're going to take a break, take 10, and we're going to come back and we're going to check in with what folks are doing in the bar here.
Love it.
Take 10. All right, so we are back. Uh, you're in this place. It goes deep. There are probably a couple of levels to it. We've got those suspended cages. We got that music. There are probably electronic dartboards. There are a couple of different bars, various gambling machines that are here. Sabian, I want to start with you here. What do you want to do?
I mean, we don't really have any leads, right?
You're coming in cold.
Yeah. But that's an opportunity too, right? So
It
I
is.
am unremarkable. And that's not just a description of a former lover gave me. It is a talent that I took, and I can blend in with the surroundings. So I'm going to fade into the background and just eavesdrop like mad. Just
Okay,
with ears, not poking at anyone's mind, because that would be weird.
fair enough. Let's have you make a let's have you make an intuition roll here, and we'll give you a bonus for sort of fading into the background.
All right. So I have 47.
Okay.
So the goal is to roll that or lower.
Yeah, I'm going to make it routine because of your setup. So 67 or less is what you're aiming
Okay.
for.
All right, let's see.
So
Ooh,
35. So that's 3 success levels. What I think as you go around, uh, you will pick up is that there's low-level chatter all around at multiple different tables. They're talking about the fact that the local, essentially, vigils, the guards, have been cracking down and clearing the streets, grabbing people up, and apparently enforcing vagrancy laws and loitering laws and things like that. And this has been happening for the past couple of months. And at first they thought it was just going to be a passing phase, but it has gotten worse, and people are a little nervous. Some people are talking about like it's interfering with their business, and maybe they're going to have to go down into the underhive where the gangs are constantly fighting. Maybe that would be safer than here. And that seems to be what everyone is worried about. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Mad Fist. Look at this world of opportunity. By the way, I did wait until you took a bite, so that was the most important part of this.
I could tell I was trying to stuff it down before you got to me. I'm like, I bet you I'm next. Yeah, I think as awful as the music is, I think Mad Fist is into it, right?
Okay.
I think he's gyrating along with the music, and almost like he's forgotten he's on the clock. He wants to get into the crowd and be part of the mass, just whatever they're doing.
Absolutely, and you could certainly do that. There are people who are on what passes for a dance floor here,
Yes,
and you can certainly enjoy yourself and kind of make a spectacle of yourself a little bit here.
yes, that's exactly what he does.
Okay, let's have you make an athletics roll, just so we see kind of like, are you a good dancer? I think this is a routine test, so again, plus 20. So let's look for
All right,
60 or less.
60 or
Will
less.
tell
Let me
us
pull up.
whether you can dance or not.
Roll with me. All right. D100. Yes, look at that,
Yeah.
28.
So that's 4 success levels. So yeah, you are probably significantly more skilled and sober than most of the people on that dance floor, and it kind of drawing attention, drawing a crowd, certainly making a spectacle of yourself. You're clearly an off-worlder, and you just kind of popped into the bar, and so a lot of people are staring and wondering what's going on with that.
Nice.
Uh, Jetro. What are you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Jethro is going to he's going to find some folks playing darts. He's going to bring a big drink and he's going to pop down a few solars and ask to get in the next game. He's going to try and get some report going with locals and start asking some questions, start getting some leads.
Okay. Let's have you make a rapport roll. Do you think any of your talents apply to this?
That's a great question. I think not just yet, because I'm
Okay.
not trying to make any deals, and I don't think any of them are of a superior,
Right.
level to me or anything like that. So I think right now he's just kind of showing up. Hey, can I get next game? And he puts a few solars down, puts his big mug of scent ale or whatever the hell, and yeah, he's just trying to make some conversation.
Let's have you
So my
roll.
report is 50. Here we go. And I got a 5.
5.
You've never seen Jethro so alive. He comes in, he puts his beer down, he gets a little bit of the foam on his hands, he rubs it through his hair. He's looking a little too clean, so he just gets a little bit of that stank on him, and he puts the solars down.
Yeah, you'll talk to some people, and eventually find yourself with a couple of people that seem to know more about the area, what's going on. That you've thrown a few round of darts, you've lost some, you've won some, you've bought some beers. The beer is a little crunchy, but it's drinkable. And you're seated across from someone who you get the sense of is a fixer, someone who makes arrangements, who gets things into place. Her name is Rhina. She has a couple of heavies with her. She's got that sort of voice box filter, so she's really striking and beautiful, but her voice sounds a little bit like Bane.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So she sounds beautiful as well, is what
Oh
you're
yeah,
saying.
absolutely.
Wonderful.
So what is it you want to know? Like, what are you asking her? I mean, she's picked up that you're here looking for something, looking for someone, but like,
Yeah. Jethro, he as soon as he's brought to her, he kind of does a deep bow and says, oh, "Ma'am, it's a pleasure to
no,
meet you."
no, 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 no,
Someone,
no, no, ma'ams, no, ma'am, sit.
oh, of course, it's where I come from. I just, anyways. Yeah, I had some questions I'm looking for. Just came to the planet. He just came to the sector, and my crew and I we're looking for some folks, some friends. We heard they got into some trouble a few years back, and I think they're living on hard times, and we're just trying to see if we can, get them involved in what we got going on. Get them off the street and into a ship. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you've put a few people to work. You take them from behind the shack, you put a gun in their hand, and now look at them. They're living.
No, you seem to have the wrong impression about what I do. You're putting guns in hands. No, 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 no. I set people to an honest day's toil. That's what I do. That's it. But I understand. People get on the wrong side of things. They get stuck here. This is not a great place. There's no up. There's only down here. So,
And we're just hoping to move some of our friends sideways.
okay. Uh, well, give me some names and
Sure. Now, I can be sure, Ryan, that anything I discuss with you, you're not going to go talking about it through that fancy voice cord of yours to anybody else, right? You're going to keep this strictly hush hush. I'm a little worried some folks are after them, to be honest.
that's an interesting thing. That changes the whole tenor and tone of this conversation, don't you think?
I don't think it has to.
Okay. Okay. But you seem to be expressing a need for some confidentiality.
Only in the sense that you're looking to put people in honest work, and I'd be getting my friends into honest work. And I've heard tell that there's some other folks poking around. I don't think they're going to be doing honest work with them, if you know what I'm saying. I think they're going to turn them into servitors or something. Those floating heads, those used to be people.
Yeah, I know. We've got a whole little tech priest workshop here in the hive. So yeah, I'm well aware of that.
Of course, I knew you would know. Of course, I was just kind of. This is this is a nervous tick of mine. I can't help but kind of over explain things. Anyways, if I might,
Jetro,
what?
do you want to give me one name? Do you want to give me more names? What do you want to tell me? Let me
Yeah,
see
of
what.
course,
Let me
of
see
course,
how
yeah.
I can help you.
Of course, of course. Do you know a fellow by the name of Og Halanek?
Alanek. So I don't know that name right off the top of my head, but this is not the first time that I have heard it in recent days.
Now that's really interesting. Og's making a name for himself. I couldn't believe it. That's wonderful. What kind of company did that name come up in?
Well, you spoke of wanting confidentiality in this discussion, some discretion.
I did.
Yes, yes. I have other clients that have asked for the same level of discretion and confidentiality.
Of course. That's how it's going to be sometimes. But I note that you at least mentioned it to me, so that makes me think that maybe you're open to some deal making.
What do you have to offer, Jethro?
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna really quick check my deal maker talent.
Yeah.
I'm skilled in trading, know how to close a deal during a negotiation. Oh, okay, during a negotiation, I can make an intuition people test, and then that will help me learn what sort of thing Raina might be after.
Okay.
So let me attempt that here.
Yeah.
Where's what was it called?
Intuition.
Intuition. Okay, intuition. Oof. I have a 28 in that, but that's all right because here's the thing, I roll so hot. You saw that 5. Everybody saw that 5.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a 2. This time it's gonna be a 2. It's gonna be crazy. Here we go. Hey, that's 100. That's the worst thing you could roll on a D100. I guess I'll just close my Zoom and go home.
She says, interesting. Like you can't get a read on her, and she kind of looks at you narrowly, and says, "So what do you have to offer?"
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I have no small amount of solars that I can offer, of course, for this information, as well as, well,
I have to stop you right there because I actually remember that I have some business I need to close. If you will come back here tomorrow, we can talk business.
that's wonderful, Raina. I'd love
Excellent.
that. Okay, and if I might, okay, you're gonna go. That's
Yep.
great.
We'll
I
see you
think
tomorrow.
Jethro, yes, of course, Raina. It's again pleasure to meet you. Your voice is wonderful. I wouldn't draw any attention to that. I don't know why anybody would say that. I'll let you go now. I think Jethro grabs his drink and goes to find the crew.
Okay. Greco, uh, uh, you see Madfist hits the dance floor. Sabian is kind of circling around, listening. Jetro goes into full Jetro mode. Uh, uh, what is it you want to do? Are you also trying to pick up on Scuttlebutt? Are you trying to make friends? Are you watching for an ambush? Like, what do you think you're doing?
I assume we have the ability to show pictures in this.
Yeah, you've got data
world?
pads. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Head with my data pad up to whichever bartender looks like the most bored or old.
Okay. Yeah. You've got essentially a kind of a greasy, big, bushy bearded Popeye figure behind the bar. What do you have?
Information. I drop some solars.
What do you need?
couple years ago, couple years old, these pictures are, but I'm
Mhm.
looking for these 3 folk to hire them.
Let's have you roll rapport. Let's kind of see both whether he's willing to talk and if he knows.
You bet. Okay. Just straight up D100.
D100.
Okay. Oh, I can't label it. Hold on.
With the, yeah.
I rolled a 44 and my skill is a 30.
He'll say, I know I've seen those faces, but like I can't say like how long ago they were here. He will on that first one, Sethis. You see him kind of reaches out and goes, I think he got grabbed up by the visuals. That's what I heard. But the other two, like I've seen them, but I don't know where they are right now.
Take another look at Sethis. Are the vigils a Warhammer 40K thing?
Yeah. I said that's what we call the cops around here. That's what we call our the watch. They work for the administratum. They come through. They keep the peace with a few boots to the head. You know what I mean? They've been grabbing up people a lot.
I gotta look around. Do I see any law enforcement personnel looking individuals here?
I think you'll see like outside. Clearly, this bar is kind of a no-go zone for them. But you'll see a pair of them. They're in like a military, like they definitely have a military cut to them. They look like kind of Imperial Guard types in tan and olive green. And they're just kind of keeping an eye on the place.
Cool. Slide a few more solars. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's all good. Cute dog.
Isn't he? Then I'll head straight to the 2 vigils.
Okay. Let's do that, and then we'll bring people together. How does that sound?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to grab Sabian on the way.
Okay.
Unless Keith had a
Yeah.
thing that Keith wanted to do, I'll just basically, come on, need you.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of them was picked up by the vigils. That's their law enforcement.
Oh, everybody's been freaking out about them. They're really acting out of the ordinary right now.
I'm sorry. Which they? Who's freaking out?
The
I don't understand.
These people are freaking out about those people. The
Ah.
vigils.
Hmm.
They're picking up drifters and minor offenders and stuff that they wouldn't normally bother with.
It's possible that the rogue trader has already moved here. So let's speak with these vigils. I thought you might help me because you're perceptive in ways I'm not.
Sorry, so we're walking up to the people that everyone's worried about?
These people are not the most law-abiding citizens. I'm sure that if we have an open and honest conversation with these men
Are we the most law-abiding citizens?
so far,
Okay. If you think it's a good idea, Greco.
it's one of my better ones so far today.
Checks my watch.
Uh,
I got your back 100%.
Thanks.
So you will approach these 2 jackbooted thug cops, and they certainly give you the eye. I think though, Greco, you've got a little bit of that military bearing. So they don't get immediately hostile. Can we help you, citizen?
Again, hold on. Rich is trying to find Warhammer 40K equivalents of. I have found in the Lexicanum that there's a thing called a LHO low stick, like an Into era cigarette made of rolled paper tube containing a scented plant-derived substance. Is common amongst the Imperial Guard and menial workers. So I have a pack of that.
Okay.
Open up the pack. Just kind of slide it a little bit so a couple of low sticks come out. Offer them the pack. Like, you can take one.
And they will. They saw you open the pack. You have a little bit of that military bearing. They'll take one. They'll pull out clearly like campaign lighters.
Nice.
And
Greco almost pulled out his little like not Zippo, but then he just slides it back.
And they'll take a drag and they'll say, you two look like you're off-world.
Yes, sir. Greco, Master Militarium Trooper, mustered out recently. Looking for some folks that I heard one was arrested. Sethis Dald. Pull out the data pad. Got a contact who wants to hire him. There's a few solars in it for you if you can help me out.
Everybody that's getting rounded up is like they're not people you want to hire, if you take my meaning.
It's not a job they'll want.
And they kind of look at each other and they pause and one of them says, well, if you are looking for somebody that got picked up, you're going to want to go down to the penal repository on level 23.
Level 23.
Yeah. He says you can keep your solars. You may need them to get in to see, your friend. You know what I mean?
I do. Thank you. And I hand one of them the pack.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
Sabian, anything you're doing?
I mean, just mostly trying to stand behind Greco at that
Okay.
point. Like there's three, authority folks and me.
Absolutely. They do give you the once over, and then like they assume that you're Greco's little sister or something, and then focus in on him. But I think definitely the vibe you get off of these guys is they are bad news. Let me cut back inside. Mad Fist, if I may bring you and Jetro together at this point. I think you probably, there is no air conditioning in a place like this, so you are probably bathed in sweat at the end as you come off the dance floor, and you see Jetro making a beeline to you with some drinks.
Mad Fist, you're not going to believe this. I have already cracked this whole thing wide open. I met somebody who knows exactly who we're looking for. Og, one of the guys, Og. We just need to come back tomorrow.
Is that what they said? You need to come back tomorrow?
Yeah, I tried to kind of see. She was like, "Oh, we got to make deals. We got to spend some money, make money, that kind of thing. You know how they always are." And they recognize in me another deal maker, of course. I know my way about these things, Mad Fist.
She's bringing Og to you tomorrow.
No. So, well, hold on. Let me get through the story first. I hand him a beer. So, I met him. I said, hey, I'm looking for some friends. I want to hire them. Might make sure their life is better. Yada yada. Gave him the whole sob story. They bought it hook, line, sinker. They couldn't get enough of it because I'm great like that. I have these skills. People don't realize that I have these skills, Mathis. Anyways, I asked for the name. They said they heard it, that they could help me out. We just need to make a deal. And I tried to offer solars because I thought, hey, everybody, could lose a little cash. Fast. It'll make this whole thing quick. And yeah, she got real kind of stern, real fast, and said, oh, you know what? Come back tomorrow. I'm sure it was nothing. I'm sure it was fine.
Did she take your solars?
We have 10, thankfully, and actually, I spent 4 on all these drinks. I'm a little light. Do you have much running around money? What do you got?
So she didn't take your solars. She's not bringing Og to you tomorrow, but you're supposed to come back here tomorrow.
Yes.
Can you fight?
When you say it like that, I do see your meaning. Okay, maybe this isn't working out. Maybe we should.
Can you fight?
Of course, Memphis. I can fight. I mean,
Good, good. We're going to Plan B.
Okay.
You're gonna have
All
to
right.
watch my back. I start a fight, and I'm yelling Og's name. The first person that walks by, I hit him with my beer. And I yell, Og Hallenach, where are you? You don't just dump my sister.
So as fast as I can and have it ready to swing.
Let's have you roll melee. You're gonna hit. I don't want to see like how effective this is.
We're gonna shake somebody out. Oh, there it is. Okay, too many tabs. Sorry. Ooh, that's gonna be close. I got a 44. I don't know what my melee is.
It's 35.
35. So I think it's a messy hit. You shout out the name.
Yeah.
And hit somebody. They go back. And this place is a powder keg.
Yep.
The second that happens, every little bit of people that are kind of around waiting springs up. I'm going to come back to you in a second, Jetro, but Sabian, I think there is a moment when Greco has finished up with the cops there, when the back of your neck tingles, and I think you turn around, and I think in slow motion you see what is about to happen in the bar. What do you do?
First thing I do is to check to see if my powers can only help me. They can help you nope. Target self. Yeah, no self. Yep. You guys are in trouble. So I think I say to Greco, he's doing it again. Plan B.
Plan B.
And you can see that fight break out. You hear the noise, the shouting. These vigils, they don't even move.
Nice.
They lean back on whatever they're at, and you see them maybe unstrap their truncheons, but they wait there as that goes on. Sabian, I will have you make an intuition roll here for me.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I have luck. That's my
Yes.
minor psychic power, which says I can invoke it before making a test.
Yes.
And that would, if I get it, it lets me make it with advantage.
That is true. Yes.
How does one invoke that?
Okay. So you are going to roll a psychic mastery test. And the difficulty is plus 40. So you just want to roll a 95 or less to have this go off.
So is that because I have a 65?
Yeah, plus 40 would be that 105, but 96 plus is a fail.
Oh, okay, always.
Yeah, always
Got
a fail.
Good to know. Now that we've said that, that's what I'm going to roll.
Okay.
96, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my!
We've had a 5, a 96, and 100. That's great.
Oh, that is crazy.
Heads popping, heads popping, heads popping.
So
I still get to make the test. It is now with disadvantage.
yeah, let me make sure on that fail range and make sure I'm right on that. Just let me get that.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Sorry, first round of actual kind of mechanical engagement
Worries.
here.
I like how you called it before you rolled it.
That was
Literally prescient.
amazing.
I used all my psychic power calling the die roll.
What was the power you were rolling? Were you rolling psychic mastery or a power?
Psychic mastery.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is a miss. So you will be rolling that with disadvantage. And you are going to gain 2 warp charge.
Oh my.
One for the power and one for the one. Actually, no, just you can get 1 because there's no SL
If
difference. So
If it's a fumble though, which it was, 96 to 100 is a fumble.
it's an automatic
double.
fail. Fumbles are only if you miss and roll doubles.
Oh, it's only if you miss and roll doubles. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Where is the warp charge on
Oh,
that?
we should figure out a place to put that. That seems like a thing I've forgotten. Oh no, it's right next to psychic powers.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Warp.
So that was 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Just 1. Just nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
fine. It's
So the
fine.
way this works, when you roll at disadvantage, is you're going to roll again, trying to hit under your intuition. And if the roll would be worse if you swap the dice positions, then you will swap the dice positions.
Alrighty. All right, so we're 47. Let's see what happens with that. Still gonna make it anyway. Don't worry, everybody. Yep, got it.
Yeah. So you will absolutely make it regardless. I think that you will see when Madfist shouts out that name, that there is somebody who gets up from another part of that room and like moves to get out of there quickly. In that way that says to you that they know something and they are hightailing it.
Nice.
The old hightailing manner. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm off like a shot after that guy.
Okay. Jetro, do you want to
Yes,
roll
sir.
awareness or intuition?
I think I'm at. Well, I can't. Yes, if you'd like. I thought I was primed. I was primed to like back up. Mad Fist.
Yeah,
That's right. That's the right answer.
Right answer.
So
Okay.
if I'm looking elsewhere, I'm not doing my job.
Then absolutely. Then I'm going to have you make a roll. I think you've set yourself up. So let's have you roll melee. And we'll have you roll melee with advantage.
All right, and advantage means it says reverses disadvantage. You swap the dice if it helps.
Yep.
Okay. All right, here we go. I mean, I'm gonna get a 1. I'm gonna go from 100 to 1. It's gonna feel beautiful. Mad Fist is gonna be impressed. And 11.
That is 11.
Don't mind if I do.
Nice.
So in a combat roll with doubles, that is a crit. So what does that look like? Like, tell me what you do. We don't have to roll damage or anything. Like he hits, doesn't quite land the blow. People are breaking out. What do we see you do?
Jethro watches him throw the fist, looks around, downs his mug of beer, flips it into his hand, and waits for the first person to like start swinging on Mad Fist. And as soon as they're looking the other direction, just crashes it across the back of their head. They hit the ground hard.
Yeah, Mad Fist, you see that like Jethro absolutely clocks this guy that you didn't see coming, and knocks him to the ground. Let me cut outside to Greco. Greco, you see this fight start, plan B. You see Jethro and Manfist in the middle of it, and you see Sabian take off.
Following Sabian.
Okay. So Sabian,
Following Sabian, but like hanging back.
Okay.
Right?
That makes
Guardian
sense.
mode.
Yeah.
Nice.
I assume you're trying to be a little bit sneaky about this, Sabian?
I mean, a little bit.
Okay.
Speed over stealth, but
Okay. So this person is kind of not, they're trying to get out of here faster. They're more engaged with that. So we'll consider this a routine test. So we'll give you plus 20. So, but I do want to have you make a stealth roll.
all right. So I got 45, so that goes to 65 then. Okay. Just underneath.
Okay.
61.
Yeah, I think that you kind of don't know the place. So I mean, there is that thing where they're getting a little bit out of range, and then you have to kind of catch up. They're not seeing you, but they do immediately go for a set of stairs, and you kind of chasing them down a couple of levels. Greco, you're keeping up, following behind as this is happening, and within in just a matter of minutes, the group is split in half in two different places. Mind you, I believe that most of you have the little
I was getting ready to say
Vox speeds. Yep.
I've got
Yeah.
a little Vox speed, and I'm giving it
Okay.
rep to
Mad
Fist.
So Mad Fist, this fight is broken out. Jetro's got your back. You kind of clear the space around you. You will get the high sign from Greco. What do you say to Mad Fist?
Mad Fist, good luck with plan B. It looks like we flushed somebody out. Sabian's on the trail. I've got her back.
Meet you back at the ship. Well, meet you back at the spot.
Yep.
I don't say safe house, but I say the spot.
Okay. So how do you like you're still in the midst of this
Oh yeah.
fracas, as they say. What do you want to do?
I'm assuming Jethro also heard that communication, right? And so
It's weird that he didn't mention me. He knows I'm on the call. He's just, it's fine, I guess.
It's fine.
This is just how he talks.
I just don't have that. I don't have that much time. And if I engage Jethro,
yeah, so I kind of give him the nod that now we just fight our way out, right? And it's done. They got somebody. Our plan B worked. Let's just fight our way out of here.
So I think this is going to be a melee roll. I think you've got Jethro on your back. That's going to make this give you a plus 20. So let's have you roll that.
Because I don't want to have to shoot anybody. All right. Oh, it's this tab. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, D100. Here we go.
So that is exactly what
on
you
the button.
did. On the button. What does that look like? Like when you just barely managed to extricate yourself out of here. What do we see? What does that look like?
Well, I think it's all luck, right? I think Sabian's wrong. I think her luck kind of works for us too. So I think there are hits that weren't hard enough, but something else happens and that person falls over or trips, right? It's always something else that adds to our swings and our movement. So it's not me 100%, but it's like dumb luck stuff that creates opportunities so we can get ourselves out of the mess.
I think you will kind of stagger out of there. You and Jethro, you're kind of following behind. Get out of there. As you see, some more vigils have arrived, and you can see they're carrying different set of equipment. As you all kind of fall out of there, and you will see them essentially begin to light up the bar with sonic stunners. And these are not like polite kind of gentle things. These are glass shattering, eardrum splitting screamers that they let loose into there.
Oh my god.
And you see waves of people drop to the ground in great piles there. Though the people in the cages keep dancing. So
All right. I mean, it probably syncs up just great with their music. They're like,
yeah,
actually, this, the bass is down on this one, but there's something going on here. I like it.
There's
Yeah.
something happening.
yeah. Let's see if I can get my focus back in. Okay. Sabian, you've kind of stretched along. You've gotten down to a level. What is it that you see here that tells you that this level is particularly hazardous?
How far have we gone down at this point?
You got about now 4 levels down.
I mean, I'm picturing like it's the classic steam room and the pipes are all throughout. And there's also, I'm going to say it's not steam going through. It's some sort of superheated liquid that is apparently caustic because there's some drips and there's divots in the steel where it's dripping.
Yeah, hot liquid. It sprays up like you're walking through some sort of industrial geyser area. There's a fog. We got Michael Mann kind of lighting going on here, weird neon and stuff as you're going through the halls. That smell of methane has gotten more intense and maybe like another flavor to it. And I think that's the point at which you realize, oh, that's what methane and urine together smells like. And you will see the person you're following. This woman, you see she has facial tattoos on her, and she will go about a ways on this block, and she looks around, and you see her climb up this ladder on the side of one of these like kind of built-in buildings, and go in through like a 3rd floor window into this building that looks condemned, even in a place that's condemned. What do you two want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is once I see her going in a place that is not going to be at all stealthy to follow, I know Greco's behind me, so I wait, catch up, brief him on it. Yep, over there. You might need to do some door kicking on this one.
Yeah. Seems like it. I'll slide out from my gear, my chainsword.
I take a few cautious steps backwards.
Cool. I'll be heading up towards the door of the place.
All right. So yeah, you can make it up to the door. The place looks like it's been abandoned for a while. This level seems to have a lot of contamination. There are a lot of like, here's the thing is they have the various Mr. Yuck and like police tape things, but the corrosion has actually melted those, so you just see the dripping bits that are left of them.
That's awesome.
And yeah, are you playing this a little more cautiously? Are you going in? She went in up on the 3rd floor. How are you playing it?
She went up on the 3rd floor. Did she go in the door?
Yeah,
or
so she climbed up a ladder on the side of the building and kind of climbed in like a fire escape
That's what
window.
I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Could try and follow her.
Yeah. Let's follow her.
Okay. Let's have you make a routine athletics roll. I don't think this is difficult, but I think that the environment means that there is a possibility that this could go a little wrong here.
Wow. I made it by 5.
Well, so we had a +20 because it was routine, so a couple of success levels there. Plus you rolled doubles, so you did really well. So I think you will climb up that ladder. The ladder holds for you. It's more sturdy than it looked like. And I think you'll begin to realize that this building is probably more intact than it appears. and maybe chosen as a refuge, particularly for that. And I think you'll get up there and prise open the window, slip in. Sabian, are you staying on the ground? Are you following?
I was thinking of following till I heard about that athletics test. I think I'm going to cover the back and
Okay.
make sure nobody, or I guess the front, because there's the door there, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to look for a bit of cover and have a good sight line to the door and hopefully also that window and do a bit of Overwatch.
Okay. Yeah. Greco. Dirty, we're in that sort of Blade Runner-y style, abandoned apartment building kind of thing, the lights coming in, moving along the hall, and you will hear a couple of voices down at the end of the hall, and someone is saying, this woman's voice is saying, and they were calling out your name like they were looking for you. But it's a different, like it wasn't any of the other people that we saw. It's somebody different. And another voice says, what did they look like? And they hear that back and forth. What do you want to do, Greco?
Try to move towards the voices. The plan is to, when I get close enough, step into the room.
Okay. I think they're occupied with that. I think you rolled a crit getting up, so I think that we're not going to have another stealth roll for this. I think you'll get up to that door, and throwing it open, kicking it open, opening it gently. What do you want?
Just open it casually.
Okay.
Push the door open.
Yeah, and the door is, there is a creak, and the voices will cut out, and you'll see essentially this is a very badly furnished kind of scavenger runaway chic things, milk crates and that kind of thing, and you will see Og, who you have the picture of, but he looks much worse for wear there. And that a woman spins around, and like, you've got that chainsword out. So there is a moment where
it's out, but it's down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not walking in with it. It's
Right.
just, hey, just so you know, I got
Yeah.
a fucking chainsword.
And I think that is the thing is like her hand goes to where she's clearly got like a stub pistol in a jacket pocket, and then the hand hovers.
Peace. Og, my name is Greco. I'm here with an opportunity for you. Life, fortunes have not been kind to you. But my patron needs you and 2 others from your crew.
So tell me, let me ask you a question here before I kind of cut away, get the others, and we'll get his answer. Like, he has a mark on him that shows that he's a pirate. Is it on his cheek, his forehead, hand? Is it? What do you suppose it looks like?
Ooh. I don't know. Is anyone inspired by throwing out what a pirate's?
In my mind, I could see it being a real almost an angular rune. So in the 40K universe, there's like pirate elves is a big faction, and so I could see it's like an Imperium version of that. So maybe it's like a big, like almost like a really angled T or something, or like a sword kind of thing.
Cheek, forehead, somewhere else, neck.
I thought it was cool when Cody was indicating the cheek. That's an interesting asymmetrical choice.
Yeah. A mark there on his face. It's that kind of thing where it's both a brand and a scar at the kind of tattooed together. And I'll have an answer for you in just a second. We'll take our second break, take 5, bio break, come back, and we'll figure out where Madfist and Jetra are. So Jethro, Madfist, you get the blip on the earbud that they've followed this person. The cops are taking down the people in the bar. Do you want to head back to the safe house, or do you want to do something else?
I think Mad Fist mentioned we'll meet you back at the spot. I think my thought would be let's head to the safe house and make sure it's truly safe
Yes.
before all of us roll up on it.
Right. I'm with you. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Jethro kind of stashes his brass knuckles. He was getting ready to get out, and he pushes them back into his pocket, and he says, "Oh, you know, officer. It's terrible in there. Everybody just started fighting. It's madness. You're doing great work, sir." And then head off around the corner and start finding his way towards the safe house. Specifically,
en route.
paying attention to like if anyone's watching us or
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
seems like a reasonable thing.
Yes.
Let's have you both make awareness rolls.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun. I along the way, I take the time to sincerely pat and grab Jethro on the back to let him know how badass he was in there.
Come on. It was nothing. It was no problem. I mean, listen, I could have been a gold boxer. I could have been a gold knuckles in my day. I trained a long time. I didn't see myself going that way. But there's a few skills you still keep,
I was checking my talents. I don't think I have anything that helps me. I can sculpt
You didn't buy a cute sense?
No, only because I was going to, but I saw that Jethro had it.
Okay.
And he grabbed it for smell, which is what I was going to do.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, no, I won't. I'll leave it alone.
Do you agree? Do you regret that now, Jethro, on this world?
He has the plugs in. He's got the filters in.
Yeah.
It's just a part of life. Yeah. I took it as kind of a sense that like if there's no smell, he's always like, nah, man, my nose is telling me something, and it's just he says
Right.
it's his nose. Yeah.
So I think with the 09 and just the slight miss from Mad Fist, I think you're more kind of concentrated, Mad Fist, on watching the area ahead of you, keeping a scope out on that. But as you two are traveling towards the location of the safe house, probably up a couple of levels, Jetro, you will see, and they're doing a pretty good job, but you've caught their movement, you've seen them. One of those people, and you're pretty sure that they were amongst the entourage that you saw around Reina. They've clearly been left behind to sit on the bar, and when you leave, to follow you. And they are shadowing you at a discreet distance.
Okay. So yeah, I clock them and I keep talking to Mad Fist. I say, all right, so I hit him with this. I hit him with this. Now don't look now. There's a couple people about 50 yards down. You hit him, you get him, and then you throw. If you can get a throw, oh, it's all over. It's all over. They're on the ground. And he's just like mid discussing moves. He's alerting Mad Fist. We got two behind us. They're just following. We need to lose them. What do you think? How should we do it?
I hear Jethro, but I don't want to lose them, right? I want to turn the ambush around. I want to ambush the people who are following us.
That's why they call you the Mad Fist. All right, let's.
There are two of them. Do we know how many?
I don't know. One. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There might be a dozen. I can only see so much.
We want to grab that guy. Yeah, so can we lead him in to us? Like maybe we go into a place that's not the safe house. Like we're trying to, right? To let him get closer. Did we grab him?
All right. I think that this will be a stealth check for this. Let me have, basically both of you need to roll this to see whether you tip him off.
Right.
Okay. I'm into it.
If both of you fail, then he will take off. If one of you fails, then he will be alerted, but still potentially present.
Gotcha.
My stealth is 50, and I rolled a 10, so I'm doing
Very nice. 4
pretty
success
good.
levels.
All right, I'm about to roll. I was checking skulking, but it doesn't seem like it applies for me here. What is my stealth?
46, I think.
That's not too bad. That's
No.
not too bad. I might be able to
Oh
not.
no! Oh
Not.
no! That's a fumble and a crit fumble, right? That's what a 99 is.
So, Jetro, I think you and Madfist absolutely move in on this guy, and you're just about to kind of get to that position when Madfist, you will realize that Jetro was wrong, that there is a second guy, and that's the point at which you realize that somebody's got you in their sights. We'll come back to you in just one moment. How do I know you're on the up and up? He looks at you, Greco. Like there have been some shit. There's been some shit that has happened.
Well, for one, I've got a chainsword and I haven't killed her for reaching for her pistol. But
That
you're just
clocks.
gonna have to trust me. Now, the good news is I'm a trained trooper. My plan is to get you out of here safe to our safe house and then onto our ship. Get you out of here.
Well, I gotta ask, why?
I can talk to you about it, but I don't know if I want to talk in front of your friend.
He says, I need her to go. I need her safe too. She saved my life. Like, there were some other people that were looking around for me and some of my colleagues, and they had some Hive gangers with them. And when I hesitated at all, they drew down on me. And they offed another guy who was with me. Just like casual, nothing. We were able to get out of there, but I know they're still around and watching, and they put the word out.
Okay. What's your name?
Is that to the woman?
Yeah.
Okay. She will say Deltana.
Okay. I'm looking at the picture for Deltana. I can get you to the safe house. After that, we need to make sure our employer is able to take more. But we'll make sure you get out of here safe.
Okay. And they'll agree. They'll grab up their stuff, and I think you three can head down carefully. Sabian, you'll see Greco come down.
I shoot them all.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh, what a twist!
Greco, you're supposed to let me know.
Og looks terrible. Like he's clearly in very bad shape. I think once you kind of get him out in a little bit better light, you see that he is not good. The woman is pretty much kind of supporting and carrying him. And they'll look at you. There's maybe a moment where the Greco, the military guy, has led them down, has convinced them that they're going to be safe, and you come down and they see you.
This is the guy Van Grunt wants?
Yeah. And this is the girl that made sure he's alive for us to find him. We need to get him.
Somebody's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly. Need to get them to the safe house.
And I think I will I'm imagining he's got one arm over his compatriot, and I will
Mhm.
kind of go to the other side and let him put his other arm over me and immediately start helping him move as well.
Absolutely. And you can kind of follow the path you came back. Kind of describe to them what level it's on, and they can kind of direct you some back ways to go to get up there.
I swap out my chainsword for my combat shotgun.
Okay.
Because
It's a little more subtle.
yes, exactly.
It's a company weapon.
It makes the chuck chuck sound, guys.
Yeah. You're carrying your gear too, right, Sabian?
I have my pistol. I think, you know what? Now that I'm helping him, I probably just stowed it away.
Okay. But you have a multitude of ready knives should you
So many
require.
knives.
Okay.
I've dropped a few.
Okay.
I see the infinity symbol before the knives, and I think
Yes.
that's great.
So Jetro, you've moved up on this guy, and kind of like as he's come around the corner, you're kind of on him. You're like, oh yeah, I got him. But then you realize that Mad Fist kind of isn't with you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the corner of your eye, you will see back behind you, Mad Fist kind of moving up, and this guy with a stub pistol pointed at Mad Fist's head.
I think I drop and draw my las pistol, or maybe my stub automatic. I think my stub automatic.
Okay.
And I fire on him. As soon as it's like out of the corner of the eye, it's just down. Try and quick shot.
All right. So we are going to go by initiative. So I am going to have Mad Fist take his action. But I think you kind of declared, so I think Mad Fist has worked with you. So I think you know what Jetro's about to do, Mad Fist. What do you want to do? This guy is real close up. He's got that gun pulled out, pointed at you.
I believe in Jethro.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let Jethro take that shot.
Okay.
And if I get a shot, I'm a gunslinger. I'm gonna empty both my guns in the other guy.
Okay. So you hold yourself steady while Jetro does this. So Jetro, ballistic skill, you just want to roll to hit?
All right. Is this related to just ballistic skill. So just ballistic skill, not ranged or anything like that.
Yeah, so just ballistic skill, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Well, ballistic skill range. So yeah, you got a 30.
It's all right. 30, that's all I need. That's 30 chances to succeed incredibly. And I got an 81.
You did.
So
now
that's not going to do it.
Let me talk to you, because we haven't been in a situation where I wanted to mention this, but let's talk rules reference here. You have fate.
I'm going to use one right now. Let's burn it.
Let's talk about what it does.
Not burn it. I know burning it is one thing, and yeah. Go ahead.
You can spend your fate to re-roll. And that is probably the thing you want to do here.
Yes, absolutely. At the start, and there's nothing else I can do. I can re-roll, add one success level to attack. Okay. So like if you just barely missed it, you could do that to succeed.
Yeah. Now you can burn your fate to choose the numbers.
Ooh.
You will only have 2 fate per
do
mission for the rest of the game.
Yeah, don't do that. It's too early.
It's too. Don't worry, I'll do it next time. All right. Yeah, okay. I'll spend a fate, so I'll go from 3 to 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to re-roll it. And listen, the Emperor loves the use of fate, obviously, so he's going to bless this roll.
Right.
A 69. It's blessed in a way, but not the way I need it.
So you draw that pistol, fire off, and miss the guy. But I do think that of that stub pistol going off is enough to kind of throw the guy from immediately putting bullets in your head, Mad Fist.
Nice.
But you've still got this guy with the gun out aimed at you. And there's another guy down the alley who hasn't drawn his weapon yet. What do you want to do?
I'm still going to shoot the guy down the alley who has not drawn his weapon.
Okay. Let's have you roll that ballistic skill.
All right. What is my?
Yeah.
Is
I don't think there's any superiority on either side here.
Right. Oh, I'm good. That's at 50.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do any of your things give you a bonus?
so I have gunslinger, but I think that just lets me use 2 ranged weapons.
That's correct. Let me check that.
All right. I don't think it adds. I think it negates a disadvantage for doing
Yeah,
that.
I think.
I have Deadeye, but I haven't taken the time to aim.
Yes, you can attack with 2 ranged weapons at the same time. So you can take 2 shots.
Same target, different targets?
You can take 2 shots. You can split your targets if you want.
Oh, if you let me, I'm going to shoot both these guys.
Hell yeah.
You got it, dude. You got it. Come on.
So first shot on the guy by Jetro. 50-50.
Yes, it's 50-50. All right, here it is. Here it is. You let me do it.
So that is a hit. That is 3 success levels.
Nice.
So if we look at the weapon here, let's resolve this one first. Roll me
Gotcha.
a D10.
D10 coming up. Hopefully that's good. It's a 10.
It's a 10. So center mass body. So standard damage. And this is with the auto pistol,
Yes.
which is, let's see, that's
I should put those stats in there.
yeah, auto pistol is damage 5, plus the margin of success, which is 3, which is 8, which will hit this guy center. He's not wearing armor, and he will lift up and fall back and hit the ground. Good shot, drops. Now, you've still got 1 more target.
I do.
If you don't shoot him, he is going to shoot you.
Yes. All right, here we go. Target number 2.
That is a 46.
Nice.
So that's 4 from 5, so that's 1 success level.
Right.
So that will do 6 wounds to him. Let's have you roll another D10.
All right.
Five, which I believe is the leg there on him, if I recall correctly. Yeah, you will hit him in the right leg. That's a heavy hit. I think he will stagger back, but he is going to take a shot at you.
All right.
So we will roll a D100 here. And he completely misses.
Woo!
Fires that off, even though he's at close range, but the wound to his leg, he staggers back, hits the wall, he's kind of slumping down. Jetro.
Yeah, I think if I can, Jetro's gonna stand up with his pistol in one hand, and he's gonna get those brass knuckles out. Now that the guy's fallen, kind of staggered to the wall, he's just gonna tackle him, and he wants to try and knock him out. He wants to try and take him.
So move and then attack. So let's have you roll melee.
All right, I'm a little bit better at that. Not that much better though. 73.
I think you roll up on him, but he's kind of pushing back and he's waving that gun around. I think that probably is what keeps you from getting close.
Yeah.
Mad Fist.
I walk over to the other guy, but I shout back, "You better give up!" And I want to try to knock out the other dude, unless he's
with the guy you hit mid body.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's bleeding out, dude.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
these are NPCs. You did 8 points.
But the other guy doesn't know that necessarily. Mad Fist is he's taunting him. He's tricking him.
Is that what you want to try and do?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think that is probably presence.
All right, here we go.
You got this. You got this.
That's 31.
Yeah,
Dude.
baby.
So I think there is that thing where this guy kind of slumps down, he keeps his pistol up, and he's like clearly, okay, I'm not going to shoot you guys just leave kind of thing.
We taking prisoners. We're not leaving. Because if
Okay.
the other guy's bleeding out, he can't talk, but this
Right.
guy can talk. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think he puts that up, and I think Jethro, you're close to that, and I think you can take advantage of it to grab him up.
Cool. Yeah, I'll if I can, I can either if we can knock him out using the brass knuckles, and we can drag his ass out of this spot. I don't
Yeah.
have.
He's got
I
a
don't have any.
6-point wound in his leg.
Okay.
Do you want to
okay.
punch him?
Now
Is his leg still attached?
He is bleeding severely.
Okay. Well, is there a way to make a stunning strike? I guess there's a lot of stunning weapons. That's what it is. I don't. Of course, I didn't have any of those.
I'll let you make a roll to hit him, to knock him out. Just don't miss.
Okay. Easy. Thanks for the opportunity. I'd love to take advantage of this chance that you've given me here. And again, I only need a 47.
Right.
So
had some amazing successes so far. So let's continue on with that.
Nothing but right.
Right.
Yeah. So Jethro, he kind of regrips the brass knuckles, and he holds his hand up. He says, "I'll let you go." And I say, "Yeah, that's a funny thing. We're not going to let you go." And he rolls a 47 on the down, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Woo!
He'll catch him upside the head, knock him out, and I think we'll see you having to kind of carry this bleeding body. Sabian, Greco, you've played this a little bit cautiously, but I think that as you're kind of approaching the safe house, you would have heard the gunfire.
Is that the first gunfire we've heard?
Oh, this is the first that's like clearly immediately in your path.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You kind of gotten used to the other sort of low-level gunfire throughout the place, the echoes. Like somebody's listening to the Judge Dredd movie.
That's right.
So I'm remembering Van Grunt's subtle hints about what would happen if we didn't get all three. So we are maneuvering Og into a sheltered doorway and covering. While we let Greco take point and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Yep.
Greco, you will come out into the hallway, and I think you see Jethro and Madfist carrying this dude, and blood kind of pouring out of him.
I've memorized the picture of Sethis. So this doesn't look like Sethis.
No,
It
thank
definitely
goodness.
doesn't look like. How did you say her name? Tashiz? Tashiz?
Let me look at the
Tachize.
Yes. To cheese.
Tashiz. So doesn't look like either of them. Who's that? One of the rogue trader guys?
Maybe. We're going to find out. They came after us.
Check him for cortex bombs and capsules. But yeah. We
should do that. Absolutely. That's a good call. You should make sure that he doesn't have any of those in his cortex. You should have seen Mad Fist. The shot there's another body down the street.
We have Og. Let's head to the safe house. Let's get off the
Yes,
street,
I love
and then
this.
you can tell me what you did once we're off the street.
Cool. I think
We have Og.
as my audio.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. As we're going, I think I start telling Mad Fist, on the ship they cleaned my pistol. I'm not used to that. The grime it slipped. I almost had him with that first shot. It would have been lickety split, but they cleaned the thing. I'm not used to not having that level of grime in my palm. It makes the grip easier. Anyways, hell of a shot.
You did good. We won. It's a win. It's a W. It's fine.
I think we cut to all of you at the safe house. You check the security on it. You get in like under cover of darkness. Sabian, you help move Og and this woman on in. Jetro, Madfist, you put this guy on a table. You have the medical skills to put it so he's not going to die immediately. I think that may be the extent of that at this moment.
No, it's good.
Yeah. And I think actually that is where we're going to stop for today. At the safe house, you've got a guy to interrogate. You've got one of the three. You found out that there's some other people mucking around in business. We will start next time, probably with Sabian, to kind of see what you're bringing to bear on the situation, since I think you've got the least screen time today of anybody. So we'll kind of try to work on that. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, things that you like for stars that they particularly dug, and then wishes, things you like to see more of, less of, things you like to see for your character, those kinds of things. So let me start with Jetro.
Are we doing stars and wishes or doing one and then
Yeah,
the
I
other?
usually do them both together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think a wish for next time is to get us all together and have us working together, pretty quick. But I think we've already got that, so nailed it. It's in the bag. Stars, I wanted to throw out Rich. Really loving the energy of first of all, you loving your dog. I'm a big fan of that. That you got a dog and you said, "Well, now he's my buddy." And also this like stone-faced warrior, soldier that you have. I think it's a great little character you put together. Jay, "Can you fight?" was a genius line that kicked off that whole explosion. I loved that. And I am very excited to see more Psyker stuff pop off from Sabian, especially with those rolls. Like seeing that warp charge hit, I'm just like, oh man. So yeah, I just wanted those stars to everybody. Stars to the game for these rolls: 196, 0, 99. Like we're seeing these terrible rolls, but also conversely, I like I said, I played a version of this system before with the second edition fantasy, and I do enjoy these degrees of difficulty and success that you're able to layer on there. Because like Rich was afraid last week, it's like I'm primed to shoot at 46. This feels like I'll fail too much, but it's like, well, no, if it's routine for you, it becomes easier and stuff like that. I remember playing Warhammer Fantasy with it's just like you fail at everything because there's no such thing. So I'm just a big fan of that being added in the system, and Lowell, how you're using that and setting up the chance for that gunfight in the alleyway. That was awesome, man. Big start of that.
Awesome. And Rich.
Stars to the setup. I thought it was pretty interesting having the nice showers, but yeah, that was for another team. That was a nice little look what is going on here, and that was a good little tag to that. I love some of the like the plan B bit, Keith, the line from Sabian of like he's doing plan B, showing that we have worked together, that Madfist has plans that have various letters to them. That was fun. I think it was neat seeing us paired off and doing things. I wish I had pulled Sabian in. I think the conversation with Og was really interesting and tense, and I would have loved to have had a psyker there to mess it up. Because that's basically what would have happened, because it went pretty well. So, a psyker would have messed it up. Not you, Keith, but a psyker. But that said, it was a fun RP moment, and I was a little bummed that you weren't involved in it. Other wish, this is a just me thing, but like when we do info dumps of here's your mission, here's a bunch of names and stuff, if that could be boilerplated and drop somewhere on the character keeper, that would be so cool.
Okay.
It's super helpful for me.
Yeah. I'll look at getting better descriptors in on the NPCs page for what we've already got established and things.
Yeah, I tried to update a couple
Okay.
notes, but I mean, like the glimmering font and the Sargosa expanse and the old ship signals, the regal bounty. Like that's a whole lot of names that you threw at us in the space of a few minutes. And if there was just like a box text that you dropped into the keeper, that'd be super
Sure.
cool for me.
Absolutely.
Everything else went pretty well. I mean,
Okay.
the system is, it's fine.
It's fine.
And it's a good group.
Sabian, Keith.
I would say, as far as the wish, yeah, I'd like to get to see interacting with some other folks. I really enjoyed the pair off and getting to know Greco, but I want to interact with the other two as well. Either as a whole group or the pairing off was pretty interesting, actually. I thought splitting the party was narratively fun and it made sense. As far as stars, I really like getting to see the characters start to develop. Because I feel like the character creation in this was so much more technical than I'm used to. I didn't really have a feel for the characters, mine included. So kind of starting to get to see like the bluster of Jethro, and Madfist is just calm, cool, and collected, and Greco's got the world weary, like I've been here before, I know this goes. Really fun to start seeing that come out and see how those are going to bounce off of each other.
Awesome. And Jay.
I think I'm doing a lot of repeating. I like the pairing of the characters, maybe new pairings or all of us together. I like seeing the characters develop. I'm with Keith. I think session 0 going in, I wasn't sure who Madfist was, and I'm a little more certain today, right after this session. And I think, what he thinks about the other characters. And I like seeing the other characters kind of solidify, their legs come out. So this was fun. This was good. Wishes, I for sure would like to see Reyna and her people again. I've got questions, and so I'd like to see more of that.
Absolutely.
And then I want to see Sabian cut loose. I want to see some psycher weird stuff, right? I want to. What can she? What can you do? Right? I want to see that.
That's what was going to happen if it went bad with Greco.
Yeah.
I had some stuff lined up where I was like, if I don't hear from him in X minutes, this is happening.
Nice. But no, this was fantastic. Like I said, it's like meeting a bunch of new friends, and I like all of them. So even the bad people. So yeah, this is good.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I am going to stop the recording.